Welcome to another 15-minute Friday edition of the What You Don't Hear podcast. This week, I'm sitting down with Josh Emerick again for another 15 minutes. Josh, welcome back to the pod.
Hello there, Ross.
Hello there, Ross. Hello there, Josh. We're all here. Hello there, listeners. We have another hot topic for 15 minutes to chat with you and more so with each other, but you're kind of included. That's kind of what a podcast is, right? Is you're hanging out with people. But you don't really have to.
It makes you feel like you have friends.
Yeah.
I know I listen to podcasts in the sense of like, I have friends.
Yeah, you don't really
talking
like.
with someone.
You can engage in the conversation and speak out loud wherever you're listening to the
You're
podcast.
just a little insane.
You're
I do that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Like,
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But these 15 minutes, I guess, could be for you to pretend you have friends, but it's more so to help you wrap up your weekend on a positive, advice-filled note. So this week, I knew I had to have you on for this topic, right? This is definitely. I know you're going to disagree with this, but I'm going to say aloud, this is definitely more of a you thing than it is a me thing, right? But it feeds into both of us, of course.
It's a you thing that I do for. It's a me thing that I do for you.
Yes, and we will get into what we mean by that because we are talking about prep days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Production prep days.
Production prep days.
Which could also be classified as pre-production.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. It can tie in a little bit,
yeah.
right? So we're going to talk about prep days, right? I'm going to let you lead this one because I know you'll have a lot to say about this. You're a very structure-oriented person, and it kind of just flows over to me a little bit, and I'm sure I'm going to add in. So timer starts right now. Our 15 minutes are up and running. Josh, take it away.
You want me to take it away?
Well, I just said take
Okay.
it away. Now we've wasted
Hold on,
so
hold
much
on.
time.
What is a prep day? No.
Yeah, you have to ask it first.
So
And then
with prep days, it's about just, for me, eliminating questions before production. And this is usually after we've laid out a call sheet, production book. But it's anything that helps eliminate some extra stressors on day of so we can focus on our client, focus on the creative, and focus on execution.
And this is so just for listeners, just to clarify, this is like you've got the project locked, right? You've got the date.
Yep.
It could be tomorrow or, whatever, the weekend, whatever.
Usually this is 1 or 2 days before we shoot.
Yes. So the project is locked in, and now it's really time to prep, right? We're not prepping the ideas
We're prepping
or anything.
Camera.
Yeah.
We're prepping our team. We're prepping anything that we can get done beforehand. Maybe this is set design. Maybe this is paint. Maybe this is, a pre-load in day, a pre-light day.
Yep.
There's so many different things that can tie into this, and not every project's the same. I'd say the consistent thing for us is usually like a camera prep and a wireless video prep. And then something I do is, as DP, I want to talk with my team. And sometimes I break this up throughout the week leading up. Other times I'm just like, this is my day to do this. I'm going to prep camera, I'm going to prep video, and I'm going to prep my whole team. So I'm usually trying to paint a picture of like, one, they're already locked in, but two, here's the exact expectations I have for you for the day. So the boring stuff is the camera stuff. The really important thing for me in a prep day is talking to my team. I want to get everyone unified. I want everyone to understand why we're working on the project.
Yeah.
Hey, the client was attracted to us for X, Y, and Z reason. Our art direction, our attention to detail. They had a bad experience in the past. We want to strengthen what this experience is. So here's the expectation I have for you today. Our big pain points of the day are maybe running electric, maybe our power, where I need you to be really detail-oriented on writing down all of our settings so we can replicate over and over. So each crew member has a specific role, but a lot of times our guys have 2 or 3 different jobs. They have a key role and then 2 supplementary roles underneath that. So when I'm talking to them, I'm trying to prepare them mentally so that they know all the basic stuff. So when we run into like difficult new problems, we all know what the basics are so we can solve those bigger problems.
Is that working proactively instead of reactively?
Yeah.
Wow.
Theme.
It sure is.
Like for me, and a phone call goes a long way, and not just preparing them, but showing them that I appreciate them and I value, I'm not just saying, here's what you're going to do for me. I'm more so like, here's some of the obstacles I anticipate us seeing. I'm going to really like be in my zone in these areas. And I need you to kind of even have proactive, like step on my toes, bring these problems to me. So like a lot of my
With solutions.
Yeah. A lot of this prep is just getting them ready so that they are just empowered to do the best work that they can do. And that stems from me working as a freelancer in the past and just feeling clueless until I get on the set and it's like midway through the day, I know what we're actually supposed to be doing. And I'm not like, how many times I've been hired as a PA and really they need a grip, gaff, electric PA.
Yeah.
Let's be upfront and say that, listen, I'm hiring you as a PA. You're going to have some grip responsibilities and some electric responsibilities, and I want my grip gaff to really be empowered as a gaffer. I'm throwing out terminology here now. Sorry to do that, but like my lighting guy, like I don't want him to just run the electric and to also place the lights and to grip everything down. There are times where I need that, but it's like my production assistant who might not know everything, let's empower him to do a better job.
Right.
For you, I do a lot with wireless video because you're directing this. And I want wireless video for you so that you can make decisions faster, so that you can see problems occur. Because, there's so many things that my head's wrapped around, from composition, from lighting, from the team, from everything else. What do? You make sure literally the small fine-tuned details are talent's in the right place, set design looks right. Your head's in your own place. So what does a prep day for you look like? What things do you take into account before we get to production?
Yeah. So to talk a little bit on not so much the tech side, or not even on the producer side, technically, leading a project from a director's standpoint, prep days kind of allow me to pre-plan for everything we could run into, kind of like you were saying, on the production side or on the actual production day. But I personally use my quote-unquote prep days to go over last-minute details with the client, right? Or go over last-minute details with any talent that might be involved. And those kind of involve a lot of things from the art direction realm of, hey, reminder, bring several outfits that all fit within this sort of theme because we might need to use different looks, or we might make some decisions on set that day. But we're going to proactively plan them enough to where we at least know what we're deciding from is all kind of consistent within this theme, right? And a lot of it too is even checking in, with locations and making sure that that's all locked in, making sure schedules are ready to go. Because we've ran into it before where, we think something's prepped schedule-wise, at least on our end, and then we'll show up to the location and the location connect says they're going to be there in an hour, and then it's like, okay, well, what that triggers to me is should have did this on the prep day, right? I should have taken my prep day to toss one extra email, one extra phone call or text to make sure, hey, we're going to be there at 8 a.m. Let's make sure you're there as well.
Do you think that your talent gets annoyed with you asking them all these questions beforehand, or what effect do you think that has with them?
So I don't necessarily think that it annoys people. I think it maybe surprises them a little bit that there is this much that goes into a prep day. Because I think a lot of people, and the reason we're even talking about this is because I think a lot of people look straight to the production day, right? They're looking at the day that they're actually going to physically do the activity and do the shoot, right? They're not thinking about, okay, well, what kind of variables could pop up on that day? Could we show up to the location and the location connect is going to be an hour behind us because we didn't communicate? Are we going to show up and the color palette for this is earth tones, but the band's brought bright neons? Those are sorts of things that, at least on my end, I'm going to be going over in a prep day. And I think it does sometimes throw who I'm talking with, for a loop a little bit, because those are things that are naturally overlooked a lot.
Yeah, and you're trying to build a better experience for everyone involved.
Because it's going to make it smoother for everyone when we get to shoot day.
No one wants to show up unprepared.
No.
No. I'll speak why I do what I do with our team is because I'm frustrated with my experiences I've had in the past as a freelancer. I'm showing up clueless, and I'm literally a conversation that actually explained what we were trying to achieve other than photo shoot.
Yeah, we've both been there.
What the hell is that?
You show up and you have no idea.
I didn't know we were outside all night long. I would have loved to have known that I could have brought a jacket.
Exactly.
I shouldn't have to pack a wardrobe for winter, summer. Give me an idea of here's the conditions you're in.
Yes.
Here's the obstacles we really have.
Yes.
Even what's the experience? What's the attitude you want of me? Do you want me to be able to float into multiple positions? Because I don't have a problem. I just want to mentally be prepared.
Or even...
And another thing,
on
the talent side.
Yeah.
How often do we want that to be comfortable for them? And we've done shoots where it's maybe there's a decent amount of nudity, or you're going to be wearing full body paint.
Right.
And it's
you're
just
going to be coated in goo. You're going to be coated in paint.
Do we just throw that on them, or are we super straightforward?
Exactly.
Part of that is making everyone feel comfortable and they know what they're getting into.
Yes.
One thing you say all the time that you tell our talent that I really appreciate is are you prepared to be here for 4 to 8 hours? This isn't going to be a 30-minute thing and you're done.
Yeah.
We're very upfront and direct. This is what this is. Are you willing to make that investment of time?
And if I could add to that really quick to interrupt you, I think we can now even have the ability to say, are you ready to be here for 4 to 8 hours? If not, maybe a little bit longer. I think we're able to say that rather than in the past, probably what would have looked like 12 to 16 hours because of the value of prep days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it eliminates so much small stuff. I don't want to show up on the day of, build the camera, build the wireless video, build the light design, lay out all the props, bring our talent in, get our band started off late. Like, I want to be focused and engulfed with our talent and our band.
Yes.
And feel like we're personable. That's super huge for me, is like, when we work with someone, I want to be connected to them. And the prep day empowers me to be able to do that a lot better, because I'm not thinking about, do we have the right LUT? Do we have the right shooting profile? I've made all those decisions the day before.
It helps clear your mind.
Some things might be changed on day of, but that's literally maybe the aperture, maybe like a different motion.
Totally.
Maybe just fine-tune balancing the camera.
Yeah.
But that's an hour of time instead of 4.
Yes. And so I think, a lot of the times prep days, if you hear that word, you can kind of think that in a way of, oh, well, that's building camera, or that's, we're not going to pre-set up the lights. What does that mean? Or I'm not a part of the camera department. I don't need to do a prep day, or, whatever it may be. But as we've been talking about, prep day can involve anything. You've got your own style of prep day. I've got my own style of prep day with our own individual checklists of, cool, I talked to the talent. Cool, location is for sure good to go. Cool, everybody has the call sheet. Cool, talent knows that they need to dress like this, they need to bring this, and this is kind of what their expectations are for the day and what we're going to run into. So a prep day doesn't always have to be this gear, tech-filled, like, are we pre-building out the rig and doing all this sort of stuff? Everybody can have a prep day.
It's all about organizing so that you're for sure you have everything. It's all about letting yourself be more in the moment of the difficult problems, the interesting problems to solve.
Yes.
And then just being a step ahead. Like for me, the things that we're going to do is like talking to the team, building any piece of equipment we can. If we have a location the day ahead, loading in, not necessarily setting anything up, but it's like if we can load in all the stuff the day before, cool, that's done.
Yep.
And then we're just focused on building it the next day, which is significantly easier. Everyone appreciates that so much more because we're just in there and in the in the groove of it.
Yes.
And then like making sure all the pieces are there. Like literally simple thing, loading up the car the day before. I'm not waking up early and loading up my car and maybe missing something. Mm-hmm. I usually make a checklist. I'm like, is everything in everything that's in the car?
Right. I think the value comes from the two big words that I know you and I love to say on this a lot. It's proactiveness and clarity. Mm-hmm. I think those are the biggest things that I feel like a prep day for production can bring. So as we kind of switch gears here into kind of winding down, I want to speak more on the solo side of things, right? Yeah. So I want to hear some actionable advice for, I'm the listener who, well, you guys are talking about crew. I don't have a crew. I have maybe a buddy who helps me out, or I'm just figuring this out by myself. Let's talk about, again, some more specifics of, what's some actionable advice points for just the solo creative who's trying to get everything prepared and doesn't have a crew to rely on day of. What can they do to really make the most of a prep day to then make the most value in their production day?
Literally, it's still a checklist. It's still communication. So it's like, if you're solo, run and gun, you got so many hats you're wearing. And we've been there, we've done that. Mm-hmm. So you need to talk to your client, number one. Confirm that they are aware that we're showing up at this time, at this location, and here's the expectation of the day. Literally, set that out.
Yes.
We're going to be here for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 20 hours. I don't know. Dedicate your whole day. Because then you don't get a left field of, I got to be done by 5 for work. Mm-hmm. What the hell?
Yeah.
So communication. That's talent and your client.
Yep.
And set the tone.
Yep.
This is what the day is. Everyone, are you good? I need a confirmation.
Right.
Not very hard. That's a super simple, basic thing. Now you have the ease of, we're all going to show up there to do a thing.
Yeah.
There's a start. That's controlling your energy.
Right.
Number 2, what all do you need to make this video? Mm-hmm. You still have to pack a camera. You still have to pack your lensing. Maybe you got lighting. Maybe you got different rigs. Make a list of all those things you need for this project. Pack them up.
Right.
the day before.
Yes.
Don't
yes.
pack them up the day of.
You're big on packing. For sure.
It just eliminates so much.
Yep.
And it just makes things so easy.
Yep.
Maybe you're starting to rent. Maybe you do rent some stuff and something's brand new to you. Test it out the day before. When we first started renting, we would, when we'd use a new camera, different look. Me being an editor, it's like I want to make sure that I'm shooting this and exposing properly. Like a simple test shoot with a friend. Yeah. If you're doing something with skin tones and you got a new camera,
even knowing the file type and stuff that everything's shooting in. So then when you get in the post, it's not a there's proxies, there's this, there's that. There's you know more about that stuff than even me, but like. It's you're planning ahead for
what
that
to
stuff.
expect.
Exactly.
And you're even kind of getting a sense of like, wow, I just rolled 3 minutes and a third of this card's full. I definitely need to pack my computer up so I can dump this because I've never been on this camera and I don't have enough media for this.
Right.
So much of that is simple and practical, but it all really stems down communication no matter what.
Yep.
Make sure everyone's going to be there.
Yep.
It just helps ease a lot of stressors. Mentally kind of prepare yourself for the hurdles that you're going to have and how you're going to like think through that problem before you have it.
Yes.
You know?
And so as we wrap up, I think, anybody could look at these, and I think what a misconception about a prep day would be, well, am I prepping for a crew or am I prepping for a shoot by myself? Honestly, I think the point that we've both kind of made, there isn't really a difference, because one of them, you need to lead a team or be a part of a team. Or the other one, you are your own team, and you've still got to prep.
You still got to lead yourself.
Exactly. You've got to prep just as much because you're setting up the lights, you're running camera, you're doing set design. To me, and I think to both of us, that's kind of the same thing, right? So a prep day in general is valuable no matter what you're doing.
It's who the questions are going to come to, how the questions are going to come to you. Like when I think through the problems, when I tell our crew certain things, I also, on my own time, I anticipate what questions are going to are they going to come to me with?
Yeah.
And can I point them in the right direction? A lot of that comes down to how we organize our set, and just like, okay, all of the electric stuff is going to be here. We'll go ahead and proactively get things out so it packs up nicer. And that way when someone says, hey, I need more of this, it's over there.
Right there. Yeah.
I've thought that I'm going to have that question and I already have an answer ready. Maybe they'll figure it out on their own, but I'm not going to be pissy about it. Because I've thought through.
Yes.
Past me used to be pissy about it. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like now the other thing is if you're singularly, you're going to be pissed at yourself. So you're going to start to ask yourself, what's going wrong here? How do I solve it?
Yeah.
Organize your shit.
Yes, that's I think there needs to be a Josh Emerick T-shirt that just says "Organize your shit," and it's got like a Tetris layout of like different cases all put together.
Yeah,
I think that would be a good piece of Josh Emerick merch. If this podcast ever starts making merch, I'm gonna make sure I have Josh Emerick specific merch pieces.
Organize your shit.
That say that. It just says "Organize your shit" or "Go get me that thing."
Go get me that thing. That's the old saying.
So I think to wrap all this up officially. It is when you're having a prep day, the two biggest things is be proactive, right? And be clear. Have that clarity. Yep. Whether it's with yourself, your team, the client, the talent, whatever it is. I think those are kind of the two biggest, easy, like keyword takeaways that anybody listening to this who is going into a prep day or is going to have one at some point, those are the big things to kind of continuously remind yourself of. Am I being proactive and am I being clear?
Yep.
I feel like those are two big points of how to make a prep day the best that it possibly can be to then make the project go as smooth as it can. So, Josh, you know the question that's coming.
My handle is JM Emerick on IG. You can DM me.
Wow.
Yippee yee.
More rap. You've done that a couple times when I've had you in for these 15-minute Fridays.
I just can't help it. I'm so dope.
I think you're getting better every single time. So, yes, you can follow him at JMemrick around the internet. You can follow me at Who's Ross Theisen around the internet. Theisen is spelled Theisen. And, of course, the biggest thing I want you to do more than either of those is follow the podcast at WYDH Pod. Talk to me about this because it'll make me feel cool. That's really all I can say about that is Josh wants to feel cool, and you know what? So do I. I don't have the sick raps that he does. But hope you found some value in this. Whether you're planning for a production or you're not, I feel like we shared some decent advice on this one.
Yeah.
All right. That's another 15-Minute Friday in the books. Josh, thanks for stopping by again. And all of you, thanks for listening.